So I can't help but wonder how a vampire manages to rule all of Nosgoth. I've seen this concept before in other forms of media, but the trouble is, Kain sleeps, sometimes for really long stretches, sometimes for years, maybe decades. They never really specify, but 1 year is still a really long time, politically speaking. What if Kain went to bed in 1930 and then woke up in 1950? He would have missed all of World War II and the nuclear bomb. You go to bed for a few years and you miss the invention of peanut butter. I mean, come on, who wants to miss that? Now, granted, Kain does rule over vampires. He doesn't worry so much about people aside from eating them. But does that mean that vampires are just kinda happy to stagnate? Do they worry? Do they think in terms of the long run? Worse, imagine that Kain goes to sleep for about 20 years, you've got this new generation of vampires, then Kain wakes up and says, "Hey, what's everybody doing in these dumb platform shoes? What was everybody thinking? These are illegal now." I get the feeling that vampire society would be very conservative, very staunch, and very regressive. Although, I guess it's not that bad to want to live in the past when you can really get in a time machine and just go back to the past and live there. So, anyway, let's get back to our game.
Knock knock. Banana. Knock knock. Banana. Knock knock. Raziel knock knock. Banana!
Elder Squid, how many years have you been telling me the banana knock-knock joke?
Oh, I don't know. I was having so much fun building up all the anticipation and excitement for that joke that I really lost track of time. I would estimate about 100 years or so. Maybe give or take 500 years, something in that range.
You are the sickest, most fiendish creature in all of Nosgoth. I hope you realize that.
Oh, come on now. You and I both know why you're here. It's to escape the eternal torment of a time loop where you're trapped forever. Which, by the way, is going on right now. Knock, knock! Banana! Banana.
One day, Elder Squid, I'm gonna escape from here. And I'm gonna figure out a way to shut you up.
You've been sitting here on your knees, zoning out for the past several years. You must have a terrible cramp in your legs. You know, you can just go if you want.
What?
Just go. I don't care.
What's the catch?
Succumb to my will and get back in the Reaver.
Succumb to eating a dick.
If you do it, I promise I'll tell you the end of the knock-knock joke.
Orange, you not a banana. Why do I care about that? I don't.
You don't know that that's going to be the punchline. Just have a walk, Raziel. Get some blood flowing, then come back and tell me what you think.
Hello, everyone. My name is Taylor.
And I am Ray. And I am Peyton, yes, who's relinquished control of the controller to Ray. You should go quickly, yes. Well, I'll go as quick as I can. Raziel sections are Raziel sections are all about platforming, so it's really more about how nimble I am with the character. Of course, this can be really hard given the fact that the camera doesn't always look where I want to go. Oh, sure, yes.
Blame the camera, not your clumsy fingers.
My fingers are very nimble and dexterous, thank you. Anyway, so this part of the game is a little bit strange because the Elder Squid lets Raziel go. But then he acts like he didn't want Raziel to go, even though he facilitated Raziel's escape. I'm not sure what the deal is. It seems like it could be a case of clunky writing, like they had something planned but then had to cut it, but I don't know. It looked as though someone had spilled a bunch of dish soap into the spectral realm. I wasn't sure what would happen if I fell into it, but I didn't want to find out.
Oh yes, the good old bottomless pit for platformers.
Oh, shoot, I screwed up the first jump. That's okay though, it glitched, I guess. It appeared as though you made that jump, yes?
I think the game has cheated you.
Well, like I've kinda mentioned, the game's not 100% tight in terms of programming, but it is pretty charming anyway.
Well, now wait, Raziel, before you go, there's a bunch of souls just hanging around here, and I thought maybe you could clean them up for me.
You mean you want me to feed you?
Oh, because when you do it, you're the savior of Nosgoth, but when I do it, I'm a parasite. Just eat the souls, Raziel.
Okay, so for those unfamiliar with the game, we ought to do some review on the Elder Squid. Basically, it's this giant demon that eats souls, and it claims to purify them, then it returns them to the world, although it's never explained how that works. Raziel, meanwhile, is his own guy. He was killed some time ago by himself because of time travel, and then Kain revived Raziel by putting some of his own soul into Raziel's body. So Raziel is connected to Kain through Kain's soul. Kain is connected to the pillars through some kind of birth ritual thing, so Raziel is technically also connected to the pillars. For a very long time, Raziel was one of Kain's chief lieutenants in Kain's army. Until one day Kain got pissy and tossed Raziel in a pit. Raziel died, I guess, but then was revived by the Elder Squid. During the revival process, the Elder Squid put some of itself into Raziel, and now Raziel is connected to the Elder Squid. Whenever Raziel eats a soul, the Elder Squid also gets to eat part of that soul. That's the more straightforward stuff about Raziel. On the more complicated side of things, that weapon on his right arm is actually his own soul. But it's his soul from the past. See, this weapon that Kain carries around, called the Reaver, is designed for reasons that are never really explained to eat Raziel's soul. Or through some fluke, that's just what it does. The explanation here is a bit loopy. Like, actually, because there's a time loop involved. Actually, it's kind of a paradox. Raziel eats his own soul and gets trapped in the Reaver because he ate his own soul and got trapped in the Reaver. All this was explained in the previous games, so no spoilers here. Raziel knows it's gonna happen, he's just trying to postpone his inevitable fate.
Thank you, Raziel, that was very kind. I know you didn't have to do that. You could have stayed down here with me for another 100 years, and I would have told you that knock-knock joke a bit longer. Oh well, run along.
So where are we exactly? It looks like a temple, but built into a cave.
I'm not sure. In Soul Reaver 2, Raziel entered the spectral realm at the Seraphim stronghold. I guess if he died while he was in the spectral realm, his soul might wind up in front of the Elder God again. Seems they gloss over the details, yes? I noticed Raziel's health swirly is small again. They gotta have progression. If you want Raziel to grow, he's gotta start from ground zero.
Wait, Raziel, I have one more request for you. There's a bunch of slaws in this room and they just chatter all day and night.
You want me to eat the slaws? Fine, I'll eat your stupid slaws. There is a bunch of doors here. Where do they all go? Why do they need so many doors? Yes. Maybe they all go to bedrooms. They're like supply closets.
Well, that can't be right. There's a carving at the base of every door. Why would you put that in front of a supply closet?
Because, obviously, it's the supply closet room of fate. Every single door leads to a different supply closet. Who knows which one has the thing you're looking for? The one on the left has pine-scented cleaner, the one on the right has lemon-scented. It's a metaphor for life, or just generally all that stuff that the Elder Squid represents. It represents deception. Yes, that too. Maybe behind some of the doors it seems like there's enough stuff to get the job done, but actually there's not. It was all a trick. It's blasphemy to choose another door, though. Whatever you get stuck with, that's fate. You have to clean with that.
This sounds like kind of a petty religion.
It is not petty, yes. It teaches humility to the alkalites.
Unless one of them knows the guy who stocks the rooms, in which case they just game the system and go for the room that they always need.
And that there is the ultimate lesson of this religion. Always game the system.
Goodness, thank you again, Raziel. You've done well. Go ahead, you deserve it.
I feel like this game has been just a little bit backwards in terms of tutorials. They're making you do these compartmentalized battles, but they're basically the same as what you already did with Kain. You should be acquainted with the controls by now.
Well, Peyton should be, but I'm not, although I'm doing better than she has. Oh, silence, Miss Ray, Lord of the Platforming section. I will have you know that combat requires much more skill. Yes. I wonder if they planned originally for Raziel and Kain to be more diverse from each other, but it just didn't pan out.
Wait, Raziel, I just remembered something important. I don't feel like being nice to you.
What? Yes? After all that, he turns on you? Of course he would, yes, but why does he let you proceed? I don't know. I have two theories. The first is that, well, he's just jerking with you. He really just wanted to make you sad. The second is that maybe he was just trying to get you out of that room so that he could drown you in this fog forever.
Well, of course this is the Elder Squid. Maybe he's got some kind of diabolical plan and wants you to only think he's out to get you.
But the game establishes that Raziel has free will now. He's totally broken free from fate, he can do whatever he wants, no one knows what he's gonna do. So the Elder Squid shouldn't be able to predict Raziel's actions. Listen to him laughing at Raziel, yes? This is a conflicting moment. Maybe the Elder Squid likes breaking stuff.
He's letting you leave while acting like he doesn't want you to go.
Yeah, okay, I know that, but I played this whole game, and I can verify that the Elder Squid does not benefit from this at all. So you have played this whole game, yes? You're at the top now. Where do you go from here, Ray? Okay, well, it's been a few years, so I don't really remember. Maybe those caves over there? I don't think so. Move, Elder Squid! Well, there's that ledge, but it's way too far away. I don't know.
Well, there you go. All you had to do was trigger a Michael Jordan cutscene.
It seemed the Elder Squid was very furious about this thing that he just intentionally facilitated. That was incredibly suspicious. However, it had become fact that every action throughout my entire life was now suspect, so perhaps the best thing to do was to carry on and not try to discern the meaning behind things. I found a passage out of this place. Apparently I was beneath the water. However, in the spectral realm I lacked any form of buoyancy.
So how exactly does the floor exert force on Raziel, but water can't?
Maybe because Raziel doesn't exert any force on the water, so there's no normal force from the water. I don't know. I mean, time freezes when Raziel's in the spectral realm, so air should push back at him too. How come Raziel cannot fly like the other ghosts? Yes. Cause Raziel doesn't have any happy thoughts.
Maybe Raziel's only partially spectral. I noticed the ghosts seem able to pass through solid objects, at least when you're feeding, so he's like lightly tethered to the real world, but not enough that he can pass through solid matter.
The sloths cannot pass through solid matter, yes? Okay, hang on. Raziel can pass through grates and stuff, right? So he totally can pass through solid objects.
Well, crap, that throws a wrench in my theory. But you learned that from your brother, who was basically dead anyway.
It's a shame we killed Melchiah. He was pretty harmless, and if we talked to him, he probably could have taught us a lot about the spectral realm.
This is why murder is considered antisocial behavior in most society.
It is survival of the fittest, yes. Melchiah was weak. He deserved not to be dead. Man, you know, I am having a lot of trouble getting to that ledge over there. That wall is climbable, and it looks like Raziel's touching it, but he won't grab hold. Anyway, Peyton, you're not describing survival of the fittest, you're describing the survival of a ham-fisted murderer. Survival of the fittest would imply that Raziel is the most adaptable vampire, and just survives by natural courses. But Raziel is the most adaptable vampire, yes? He cannot be killed because he is the ghost zombie. Melchiah just sat in his basement and stank, yes. Still, Melchiah was surviving pretty well until Raziel showed up, if you could call Melchiah's whole existence survival.
He was a rotting pile of corpses, who I'm pretty sure thanked you after you killed him.
I don't remember if he thanked you or not, but even if he was sad, he was still trucking along pretty well regardless. Ray, how many times do you plan to fall down and not reach that ledge? Yes. I don't know, I have rubbed Raziel's face against that wall numerous times. He doesn't want to grab it.
Maybe you're supposed to jump to another ledge.
Well, I can't control the camera, and it doesn't point to another ledge. There's gotta be some other way that I'm supposed to get up there. Oh, hang on a minute. Wait, I don't think I'm supposed to climb this, but I'm gonna go with it. Shoot.
That was even worse than when you weren't cheating.
Okay, try to do that again, yes, but this time, run along the perimeter of the wall.
That is definitely not the intended way that you're supposed to do this.
Intended or not, I have failed to do this the correct way numerous times. It's time to do it the wrong way. Okay, here we go. No, I must be able to do this on purpose. He just climbs up there so easily. Oh, look at this. I'm clipping through the statue. I don't know. Whatever, I solved it. I found a door, and if I were corporeal, I could probably open it. I noticed there were two statues of men on either side of the door, giving question to who exactly built this temple.
So aside from Mobius, I thought the Elder Squid was worshipped almost exclusively by the ancient race.
Well, they did have an awful lot of human slaves. Although, yeah, I don't think that many humans actually worship the Elder Squid.
Those statues are dressed in, like, kingly robes. I don't think that they're slaves.
Well, the Pillars started choosing their human guardians while the ancient race was still alive. So, maybe the decline of the ancient race was long and had started well before Mobius launched his crusade. What is the meaning of these viney hands that pop up from the ground? Yes? What are they, the angry spirit of the dandelion? I have no idea. You notice that they bleed red when we chop them up? They're not plants, I don't think. Otherwise, they're full of red juice.
If they are plants, you know that this means that plants have souls in this universe, right?
Well, we already established in the last game that dogs have souls, which we devoured. But when you kill them, they don't release the soul, or become edible in any way. Yes. Maybe their souls are made up out of spiritual beta-glucose energy, so Raziel can't digest them because he doesn't have the proper spiritual enzymes.
That is so stupid, and yet it somehow intuitively makes sense.
Finally, I found a conduit to the physical world. I'd been trapped here in the spectral realm for long enough.
Knock knock, banana! Oh, I'm sorry, Raziel. Did you want to use that conduit? Little do you realize that they are not naturally occurring. I made them for you, and now I will unmake them. You don't really want to get out in the physical world anyway. Everyone would just call you names.
The Elder Squid is a jerk.
He is. But anyway, here looks like a good place to stop for now. Thanks for playing with us, everybody.